The HTC 10 was unveiled this morning, and from what I've seen, I'm gonna say I'm pretty impressed. And I'm pretty damn excited about this phone. Flagship phone, flagship specs, here's the official word. A 5.2-inch 1440p Super LCD 5 display. A display that HTC claims is 50% more responsive in touch than its predecessor, the HTC M9. A Snapdragon 820 processor with 4 gigs of DDR4 RAM. Again, HTC claims that apps launch twice as fast when compared to its predecessor, the M9. One thing I'm really happy to hear about this phone is that while it doesn't run stock Android, HTC has taken a leaner approach at its apps and bloatware. That is, minimizing duplicate apps and reducing bloatware. By duplicate apps, I mean not having Google Calendar and their own calendar, or Google Chrome and an app called Internet, etc., etc. The phone houses a 12 megapixel rear camera with OIS and a second generation laser autofocus with an f1.8 aperture. If the sensor in this camera is the same one that the 6P uses but has OIS added, it's going to be a great camera. Honestly, I think the Nexus 6P's camera is underrated. I feel like a lot of people are used to pictures that might be a little over-sharpened or a little oversaturated, while the Nexus 6P retains more of a natural image. I also feel like the 6P does extremely well in low light, especially compared to other flagship phones that cost a lot more. I feel like the 6P really only suffers when it lacks OIS in video stabilization, and that's where the HTC 10 can take those faults and fix them. Regardless, HTC might do a little something different when it comes to processing these images, so we'll really have to wait and see how these turn out. The phone also has a 5 megapixel front camera with OIS, with a wide angle lens, and also an f1.8 aperture. Now, the front camera is something I usually overlook, mainly because I don't use it too often because I just don't care for the quality. But with this, and lately in my videos, I've been doing a lot more vlogging, so this could be something I could see myself using a lot more. The HTC 10 has 2 external speakers, one front-facing speaker up on the top, and then one bottom-facing speaker. When I first heard that HTC might do something like this instead of 2 front-facing stereo speakers, I was really a little confused because in my head I was like, well, how is this going to be better than 2 front-facing stereo speakers? Or if not better, at least equal in quality. But HTC is approaching this differently, and honestly, this is something I've never even considered on a phone or something that a phone company would ever do. And it's honestly really creative. So the top front-facing speaker acts more like a tweeter for the highs, and the bottom-facing speaker acts more as a subwoofer for the lows. At the same time, both of these speakers individually have its own amplifier, its own dedicated amplifier. And honestly, that's really impressive to hear, and I'm excited to see how these turn out. The phone's also equipped with a high-end DAC and amplifier. It'll be good for those who want higher quality audio through a headset, like earbuds or headphones. The phone has a 3000 mAh battery with a USB Type-C connection and Quick Charge 3.0. I'm glad to see HTC jumping on the USB Type-C bandwagon. A micro SD card slot for expandable storage, and a physical home button on the front that also doubles as a fingerprint reader, and capacitive buttons make a return. Again, I'm really excited about this phone. The build quality and design looks phenomenal. The camera is going to be probably what the 6P should have been, that is with OIS. The external speakers are what I'm anticipating the most. At the same time, appeasing audiophiles for headset quality. 32 gig version of this phone retails at $699 at htc.com. Pre-order started today. I pre-ordered. I'm not waiting for a T-Mobile version because I have no idea what T-Mobile is going to throw as far as additional bloatware. I always buy unlocked if I have the opportunity to. But here's the thing, $699 is a lot for a phone. In some ways, I can justify the price when I compare it to other high-end flagship phones, but did you know? If you use the code HTC1008, you get $100 off. I hope if you pre-order the HTC 10 that you put that code in. I did. I don't know if any of you really think about this, but I'm undecided about whether a fingerprint reader should be on the front or the back. Honestly, at this point, I can see the pros and cons of both. My question is, which is going to be the first phone that has a fingerprint reader both on the front and the back of a phone? It's a good idea. Maybe.